Let's get to Rebecca Lowe. She's got things to do. NBC Sports Premier League host ahead of the season kickoff. Why does this say the season lick-off, Todd?
Oh, that's a mistake on my part. It should say kickoff.
It says the season lick-off.
Does it really
tomorrow
say that?
Afternoon on USA Net.
Well, the K and the L they're right next to each other on the keyboard.
Paulie, am I being serious?
No, it's on the prep sheet. It definitely says lick-off.
The lick-off.
It's a very special soccer match.
Now, I don't understand all the terminology with soccer in the Premier League, Rebecca. Is this a lick-off tomorrow?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a new thing. It's a lick-off. I mean, I would go into detail, but your show is at the wrong time of day.
Okay. But it's like, the derby. There are certain, words that I use that I'm not allowed to use. And it's not derby, it's a derby.
Yeah, unless you're me on the Kentucky Derby coverage, where I was so good up until right at the end. And then a derby came out, and I was like, in my head, all I could see was my boss's face. I was like, no, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me.
The Kentucky Derby, you called it?
I did.
That's all right.
I did. It's not okay, is it? It's not. I'm an American citizen, Dan. You know that. I need to do better.
You're in your kitchen. Did you do all the dishes? Are all the dishes?
Well, I logged into you guys and I was like, okay, I'm going to be 2 minutes. I've just got to undo the dishwasher. It's the last week of school holidays. Lot going on. Childcare. I mean, there's just a lot going on in this kitchen today.
All right. We appreciate you joining us. The one big question you have going into this year with the Premier League this season is what?
Ooh. Is Manchester United, are Manchester United going to redeem themselves and return to a club worthy of their history? Or are they going to continue where they've gone for the last 9 years of our coverage, which is fairly abysmal?
I had the odds to win the Premier League, according to DraftKings. Do you want to guess the order?
City?
Man City.
Liverpool.
Yep.
This next one's interesting. I'm going to have to probably go Chelsea.
Nope.
Tottenham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
because they've spent
Chelsea,
a lot of money.
And then Manchester United.
Really? And then Arsenal?
Yes.
Well, that's not going to happen. Okay. Well, I mean, you never know. They spent a lot of money too. But yeah, United's fifth favourites. I mean, that's not where Manchester United should be. So my big question, they got a new manager. He's already got a big problem with Cristiano Ronaldo, who wants to leave, but nobody wants him.
Why does he want to leave?
Because Manchester United didn't qualify for the Champions League. So they're not going to be playing at that top echelon of European football. And Cristiano Ronaldo cares a lot about appearances, goals, and assists at Champions League level. He's played it every season of his career. He does not, at the age of whatever he is, 37, want Messi to overtake his records. That's really now what he cares about. And United aren't playing in the Champions League, so he'd like to go.
But I'm wondering about this, that I don't know if we talk about good teammates in the Premier League like we do in our sports here in the United States, where, hey, he's not a good clubhouse guy. He's not a good locker room guy, or he's a leader. Ronaldo seems to be about Ronaldo, but can is that a wrong way to define Ronaldo?
I think you're not. I don't think you're wrong, Dan. I think as the years have gone by and he gets to an age where he's running out of time, he becomes more about Ronaldo. In England, our phrase is, are you bigger than the club? Nobody is bigger than the club. And in Ronaldo's case, there's an argument that he is bigger than Manchester United, and he knows it. And he has not been a good teammate. In fact, he played, I think, a few minutes in a game on Sunday in a friendly, and he left the stadium before the end of the game. The new manager is not happy. He's had words with him. And this is not a good way to start a new season. But you're right. Ronaldo at the moment is about Ronaldo.
Could you see a salary cap with the Premier League?
No, I can't. I think it would stop certain players coming. It would change the whole face. I don't think that will happen. I think it's too successful. Why change something? I mean, don't get me wrong. 500,000 quid a week is insane, but they're the best in the world. They're the best in the world at what they do. You've got to pay them the best in the world at what they do, and that's okay. I think that's okay.
I just want my squad, Leeds United, to have a chance.
Sorry. My bad. For many a year, I really thought you were a hard and fast Manchester City fan. Now, did that change?
Well, I was Leicester City.
Oh, Leicester. I remember. Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
So
look,
you were Leicester.
okay. Now you're going to mock me, and I didn't mock you about the Kentucky Derby, and I said Leicester City, and you go, Dan, it's Leicester City.
Yeah, I did. I have to. That's
Now it's
my
not
job.
like you said, "Oh, this horse is going to win the Kentucky Derby." Like I did Leicester City. I got them winning the Premier League.
I know, but it's so fun. I have to mock you. It's just what we do every time I come on. Leeds United, is that because they have an American manager? Is that why you like them now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched the documentary.
Okay. Great. Brownie points. I do think that manager, there is a chance he may not be there come the end of November. So you may have to have a reevaluation, because don't forget the World Cup is coming.
Yeah.
So there's a 6-week gap that's never been, which is going to be, the 6-week gap is going to be the time where owners are like, okay, we've got 6 weeks. Let's fire the manager. Let's go. So he's got a tough one. He's lost a lot of good players, Jesse Marsh. I think you may have picked a dodgy one. I'm not going to lie.
Well, I can go back to Leicester City.
You can. And I'm sure there was a Manchester City in there 1 year between 2013 and now. Yeah.
There was.
So, and that's okay. You can flip between.
That's corporate.
Okay.
That's too corporate.
Yeah.
I don't want to be corporate.
It's true.
Christian Pulisic, how important is this season for him?
It's massive, but it's concerning. I'm not sure he particularly wants to be there anymore. His dad came out on Twitter at the end of last season, sort of hinting that Pulisic wanted out because he wasn't starting games, but the guy gets injured a lot. So it's difficult to get a run in the team because he gets injured. And then it's difficult for the manager to know whether or not he can trust him. So they've bought a few players which will challenge his position, Pulisic. And he's fine for the World Cup. Obviously, he's a shoo-in for the US men's national team. That's not a problem. Something big has to happen. He has to have a brilliant first couple of months of the season for him to come off the table of conversation. At the moment, he's on the table of conversation, as in, is this going to be his last year, A, at Chelsea, and B, in the Premier League?
We're talking to Rebecca Lowe. She is the host of NBC Sports, the Premier League coverage, and the season licks off tomorrow on USA.
Hit the wrong letter. Keep rubbing
Very
it in.
licky.
Yes, it licks off.
Yeah.
Like,
We'll be licking off in the studio. No. Actually,
No.
not gonna go down that road. No. Carry on.
Fritzy is very dodgy.
So dodgy.
Yeah.
So dodgy, by the way.
So dodgy.
Yeah.
The reaction to the Saudi investment fund buying Newcastle, and you have the live tour. Like, is there any kind of moral compass that's pointing towards the Premier League going, what are we doing here?
Yeah, but I feel like that for Newcastle United, who are owned by that group, they're delighted that Live has come along, because Live Tour is now taking all of that flack, because Newcastle, I think, were bought in, I want to say Christmas time-ish, and they took a lot of flack. There were protests. There were all sorts of problems. There was lots of the other clubs getting angry, saying, what's going on here? And they kind of rode it out, and then Live came along. So they're delighted. So at the moment, and I wouldn't say that football's moral compass is particularly strong. It comes out every now and then. At the moment, we've all just forgotten about it. Newcastle United, this is what happens. Everyone moves on to the next thing, and the next thing is Live. So Newcastle are going about their business, spending their money, and looking good this season, by the way. And that's going to be the story, not who they're owned by.
But couldn't they spend whatever they wanted? They could.
No. There's a cap. There's a financial fair play. You have to spend. There's a certain ratio with what goes out of the club and what comes back in. So you can't spend $1 billion and only take in 200 million. You can't do that. You used to be able to when Abramovich turned up at Chelsea, and even when the City owners turned up. You can't do that anymore. It's called financial fair play. So they try not to let that happen. So Newcastle have a little bit of a cap. Add on to that, they have what's called a Newcastle tax. So if Newcastle go to a club and say, I want to buy your player, that club's going to chuck on another 10, 15 million, because it's Newcastle and they know they've got the money.
Kind of a luxury tax like we have in the NBA. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Did they take away Abramovich's yacht? Did he lose his yacht?
I think the yacht is still moored somewhere, but I don't think he's been on it. Where is he? Don't know. Nobody knows where he is. Don't know where the yacht is, but I think the yacht is still in his possession. Yes.
I miss that.
The football club, though, of course, owned by another American. You guys are obsessed with the Premier League, Dan Patrick. You started it all. You and me.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying.
But is there is there pushback though from
to
from
the fans to
Americans
the Americans?
owning and coaching, and where are we?
No. Okay, so we are a lot better than we were. So now, because Liverpool are owned by really good owners in John Henry and the Fenway Group, Sports Group, and it's gone so well, and their recruitment has been brilliant, and they've won tons of trophies, the perception of American owners has changed. That, thank goodness, because at Manchester United there were problems, at Arsenal there have been problems, but that perception, I would say, led by the Liverpool ownership group, has changed. So no, there's no pushback on the new owners of Chelsea. Todd Boehly seems to be doing a good job so far. He's made some big changes. He's very hands-on. He comes with a good reputation. So far, no pushback. In terms of coaches, yes, and that's because we can hear them speak. We don't really hear Todd Boehly speak. But when a Jesse Marsh talks in Jesse Marsh's accent, which is your accent, it's so unusual still. It's a bit like when I started my career as a woman. When I spoke, I mean, I was just absolutely hammered. I was just abused like you wouldn't believe, because it was jarring to the whole generation of football fans. It's the same with Jesse Marsh. When he speaks and he talks about offsides, plural offsides, and we're trying to tell him it's offside, and there's a few things. I mean, he's trying, bless him, and I don't want him to change. He is who he is, and he knows the game inside out. It's a brilliant coach, but unfortunately there will always be, as there always are in life, people who don't like new things, right?
Does your son Teddy have your accent or your husband's?
So he's a hybrid, and he definitely says banana, but then he'll say other things in an English accent. He will use American words. So we now are talking about trash. We're talking about trunk and candy.
As opposed to, what are your words?
As opposed to rubbish. That's what are you going to put out the rubbish? Not the trash. And the boot is the boot, not the trunk. And sweets, not candy. So he has like a whole different vocabulary, but I want that. I don't want him to be different. So I'd like him to be American. But he does have the odd English thing, which is going to cause him problems, I think, at school, because people are not going to know what he's talking about. And in fact, I got the list for back to school items that I'm supposed to buy for him. I don't know what any of these things are. You guys have a whole. I'm like, what is a pencil box?
Wait, run them by me. Run them by me that you don't understand. So
you guys have. Well, we call. Should I go down this road? You call erasers. We don't call those erasers. We call them something else, Dan, and we call them something that I'm not going to talk about.
An eraser?
Yeah. Oh, did you say eraser?
Okay, eraser. Okay, eraser. So what do you call it?
Now, well, am I allowed to say that? That's the question.
Yeah, you can.
So because it's what we call it, right? Yeah. So we have a pencil, and on the end of the pencil, we have a rubber.
A rubber.
Correct.
Okay. So if you're giving him rubbers, going back to school,
6.
You're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Parent-teacher conference.
Dan, trust me, I went to Target and asked where they were.
Has anybody seen my rubbers, Mommy?
Oh, it's
any other advice? Anything else that I can help you with?
No, it's just everything is just slightly different. So, what is the blacktop? They said, when you come to school, you can't run, but you can run on the blacktop. What is a blacktop? Is it a playground? Nobody knows.
The top of the asphalt is black. It's the black top to the asphalt.
I love America. You guys are so specific with the way you describe words. Like you go into a house and there's a rug on the floor. You guys call that an area rug. Like it's for an area. And then you don't horse ride, you horseback ride, because you're literally on the back of, it's amazing. When you make a cup of tea, you make it in a tea kettle, not just a kettle, it's a tea kettle. I love you guys. You guys describe everything. Black top. I love it. This is amazing.
Do you regret becoming American?
A little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Good luck with the licking tomorrow. And good luck buying your rubbers.
Oh God, I'm never coming back on the show. All right, at least you didn't say the W word.
I didn't say wanker this time.
You did.
I did not. See you later.
Bye, Dan Patrick.
That's Rebecca Lowe, host of NBC's Premier League coverage. I'll talk to her in a year or so.
Moratorium?
Probably. We should take a break with each other. We should see other people. I should see other hosts. She should see other TV people.